All right, let's see. We've got about a minute to go, and kind of interesting. We've got a great crowd today. If you look, it looks like there's a lot of people, or it looks kind of like there's a little void there on the East Coast. I'm sure people kind of dealing with the storm. Do we have anybody up in that's been experiencing Sandy over the past day? Anybody on the ground that can tell us a little bit? Where are you guys located? Type in where everybody's tuning in from today. Always interesting to see that. All right. Freeport, New York. Al, how's the weather been for you? I guess you've been having yeah, having some rain, I'm sure. Kentucky getting wind and rain. Horrible. Yeah. And my brother actually lives in New York. He lives in New York City. And he was, they're without power and all kinds of stuff up there. So hopefully it'll get better from each day will be a little bit better. All right, good deal. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Trading Pub. We appreciate you guys taking the time to be here today. Obviously, you guys have seen this before. You'll see it again, but there's risk involved in trading. Any kind of trading that you do, there's risk involved. And the speakers that we bring on here, they're just sharing with you education on the markets. They're not giving any kind of trade recommendation for you. The mission of the Trading Pub is to provide a place for our patrons where they can hang out with some of the top traders in the industry. The pub is the place to receive quality education, all while interacting with traders and investors who are just like you. Throughout the Trading Pub, we want you guys to learn about the markets, and we're very thankful to Amar for taking time out of his schedule. He's actually located in London, so he's staying up late to join you guys today. But we want you to enjoy your time here. If you've been to a Trading Pub event, things here are very laid back. Everything's better amongst friends. We just ask if you're going to be here that you all try to have a good time. And then two, we try to put a focus on giving. 10% of any revenues generated from Trading Pub are given to charities benefiting inner city revitalization and workforce development. If you want to stay up to date with us, obviously our website is www.tradingpub.com. We will record this event. We'll get a copy posted on our website. We also try to send out copies of the recording on our Twitter. And then also, we've recently been doing a lot with our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/tradingpub. We try to do some daily market videos, just like 5 to 6 minute market videos where we talk about one or two markets in particular. But we'll try to get this uploaded to that YouTube channel as well. So if you subscribe to that, you'll automatically get access to all of our education on there. And then Facebook as well. Like typically I tell everybody, hopefully you're on Facebook, but you don't own the stock. Well, after the last earnings announcement, maybe you do want to own the stock. It's actually started seeing some signs of life, and then they shut the market down a couple days. So it's going to be interesting to see where all these stocks are when we open up. Again, like I said, we've got daily market commentary videos. You can click on that link right there to receive access to those and keep yourself updated on them. Rules of the road, we're very laid back. Like I said, if you're going to be here, enjoy your time here. Don't be the guy that sits in the room and tries to heckle the speaker or is rude to other people. If what Amar's talking about doesn't really strike a chord with you guys, just log out and go enjoy the rest of your day. But if you're going to be here, be cool, try to learn, and get as much out of the presentation as you can. All right, at this time, I'm going to turn things over to Amar. Amar is going to actually talk about some order flow techniques and understanding the way that orders move the market. And just to kind of give you some background, the way that I kind of got hooked up with Amar was about 2 years ago. He had another product that he had just released, and I signed up for it on Twitter or somewhere, but had never met Amar or really heard of him. And I looked at the product. I thought this is really a cool thing, and I signed up to it. And basically, when I signed up, he sent a nice email, saying thanks for signing up, and we started talking and really become good friends over the past 2 years. But one of the things that I think you'll find about Amar is he's really all about the education, and he puts a tremendous amount of time into his products and launching it and testing it and making sure that it's a quality product. And I know we probably got some people in the room that have used either Pivot Farm or tickstrike, and they could probably tell you the same thing. But what he's going to teach you about order flow technique is really cool, and looking at how things have changed. You know, if you think about it, the guys in the pit, in the trading pits used to have all the, you know, the guys in the trading pit used to have all the advantages of trading the order flow. And now that that's moved electronic, things have changed. And so what you'll see is a way to track that. And so Amar, you know, at this time I'll turn things over to you. We'll get your PowerPoint loaded. Yeah, I actually still use it. The product I had initially purchased, it was a support and resistance product. So Amar, at this time you can take it away.
Hey guys, can everyone hear me? Just give me some yeses in the room just to let me know it sounds good. Okay, you can hear me. Excellent. Morgan, has it really been 2 years? Wow, how time flies. Okay, sounds a little bit on the low side. How about this? Am I louder now? Is that making a difference? Okay, getting a few wows in there. Better, better. Okay, yes. Excellent, good stuff. I've got a new headset, which apparently is not giving the best possible sound, but hey ho, that's life. Um, Morgan, I can't believe I've known you for 2 years. That's really, really cool. And the product that he's talking about is actually Pivot Farm. I've only really got a couple of things that I've developed. Pivot Farm is my support and resistance research, and tickstrike is kind of my order flow tool. And I'm based in London. Just to tell you a little bit more about myself, I trade professionally. I actually work on a professional trading floor here in London. We've got around 100 traders on my floor, and some of them use my research. They use my order flow tools. I'm big into creating tools that help traders understand the market. I use them for myself, and then it kind of just turns into a product that we release to initially to professionals and then to the wider public. So that's a little bit about me, guys. All right, as I'm sure you all know, there's substantial risk of loss in trading, and this is a double disclaimer because I know Morgan did do a little disclaimer earlier. So just so you know, trading is risky. All right, guys, so before we get kind of rolling with things, tell me a little bit about yourselves. What do you guys trade? Other than the S&P traders? I think the last couple of days, none of us have done much trading at all, but what kind of traders do we have? FX guys, futures? Okay, we've got, lots of options, guys. Good stuff. Okay, equity options, S&P, futures, bit of Forex in there. Good stuff. Very good mix. Very, very good mix. Very cool. Very cool, guys. So now the main thing I'm going to be talking about today is revolving around orders and how the market works and how the market's changed, how it's evolved. And as I'm sure you know, many years ago, the pit was the place to be, and that's where the main exchanges between markets used to take place. These guys screaming and shouting at each other, bid, ask, going absolutely crazy. That's how the markets work. And the pit, or the open outcry system as it was known, was very much about physical presence. It was hand signals, screaming and shouting, punching, biting, kicking, every kind of martial arts move that you can think of was taking place in there to get your orders in, to get what you need to get done. It was a very, very aggressive, macho kind of place. And a few of the guys that I actually work with on the floor, they're actually ex-floor traders, and they, tell me lots of the old stories about how they used to trade and the things they used to do. But a lot of the time, believe it or not, and I'm sure you guys do believe it, there was a lot of manipulation taking place because you would have a few big players within the pit and a lot of smaller guys. And if you were friendly with the trader that was working on behalf of one of those big players, you are going to make a lot of money. Now, one of the guys that I knew, a good friend of mine, what they used to do is there was a guy from a major bank, and he'd come into the pit and basically shake his feet, telling his friends whether to buy or sell. So if he shook his left foot, that means sell. If he shook his right foot, that means buy, or one of the two. So that's kind of how they used to work. So one day, a day would they'd come in one day, and then would shake his left foot, and everyone would pile in with 1,000 lots here or 1,000 contracts there, and bid the market. And another day, he'd shake his right foot, and they would pile in the exact same way. And they used to work together as a team to kind of help each other out, and so everyone made money on the back of this big whale of a trader that was moving the markets. This big whale of now, a funny story. One day, these guys were working together, and the guy that was working for the large trader came in, and he's shaking his left foot. And everyone piles in selling, following him. And he's like, no, stop, I've got a cramp. And, it was just absolutely hilarious, the story. This is the kind of thing that used to happen. They used to work together, and when things went wrong, they went badly wrong. Am I breaking up, guys? That's not good. How's my sound, guys, now? Can you hear me okay? Is it better? I think it just must be the whole hurricane thing, Lots of servers crossing over the pond, causing us some issues. Okay, if you lose me, just let me know and I'll try and slow down. It's probably just the packets crossing the pond and not quite making it. I hope some of you guys got that little story I was telling you through anyway. Yeah, linked through New York, so there you go. That's what happens. So in the old open outcry, pit system, it was very open, very, but traders used to work together. There was, a lot of manipulation that used to take place. And, if you were in the pit, you had a massive advantage. Now, as I'm sure you guys know, the things have evolved, and we're, using much more, well, we are using electronic systems, electronic exchanges. They're cheaper, they're much more efficient, and they're less prone to manipulation. And that's starred because obviously is always going to be some level of manipulation, whether it's a Goldman Sachs robot front-running orders, these high-frequency trading robots and this type of thing. But, the individual person manipulating the market is much less likely to happen. It's also more difficult to see and interpret what's going on, why people are doing it, and what's actually happening in the market. So it's a big difference between the two. And, I know many guys that used to work on the floor that made an absolute bundle of money. You throw them in front of a trading screen with the same information, it just doesn't happen. And I'm sure many of you guys have come across stories like that as well. So, guys, before we move on to the next part of today's presentation, I hope everyone can see this video that I'm trying to play. Is it playing? Give me some yeses in the room if you can see it. Is that working for you guys? Excellent. Now, I want you guys to help me out here. What do you think you're seeing? Describe what they think they're seeing there. It's a loaded question. I'm sure it's very straightforward for you guys. What do you think you're seeing there? Time and sales, orders, yeah, level 2. You're watching, this is, what you're seeing here is the beating heart of the market. This is the market. This is what makes the market. It's the orders that have been executed. This information that you're seeing here is what makes the market move. The size of these orders, the flow of these orders, this is the market. So everything that you see, your charts, your indicators, every bit of information that we get is basically this. It's describing this. Everything you do, every decision you take, level you look at, was at some point, related to this. It boiled down to this. Does that make sense, guys? Give me some yeses. Are you with me? So everyone knows what this is. A lot of you guys, tape, order flow, you're getting it. Give me some yeses. I hope I'm not breaking up. Okay, yeah, the chat's coming through a little bit on the slow side for me. Okay, so this is the beating heart of the market. This is market move, makes the market do what it's doing. I'm going to turn this off now so we don't. Yeah, Michael, those small numbers are contracts. Yeah, that's the number of lots being traded. Okay, so that is essentially order flow. Now, for a lot of people, I've met traders, professional traders, that have never looked at time and sales, that have never looked at. They've always been chartists. They've looked at, the candlesticks on the charts and this type of thing, and that's perfectly fine if that's how you trade. But for me, understanding order flow, understanding the time and sales and what's happening in the market has always been important, and I've invested so much time in trying to understand what's happening, what that information is telling me, how I can discern it, how I can make, something more usable. How can you make that more discernible? Well, order flow is essentially the fundamental process of the market auction mechanism. So, when people are buying, when people are selling, essentially what they're doing is placing orders to buy and sell. That's the core of the market. And supply and demand is facilitated by order flow. Like I said, when you want to buy something, you place an order. When you want to sell something, you place an order. And order flow is what drives price, right? You've got to have an order take place before the market moves. Okay? You've got to have someone, hitting that button to buy before the market moves up. And it has to be the right kind of level. And price discovery, as I'm sure you guys have all gathered, is powered by order flow action, right? So that price moving up, that price moving down, it's powered by order flow. This is very, very important. It sounds incredibly basic, but a lot of traders don't think of trading in this way. They don't think that the fundamental core of what they're doing is order flows. It's very, very basic, but it is the driving principle of the market. It's the driving principle of the market. Price discovery is literally what you see in the charts. When you're looking at the chart, the price moving at any given point in time, and it's going up, finding a new level, that's price discovery. It's just a fancy way of saying the market moving, basically. So what exactly is tape reading and order flow analysis? Well, it's essentially the analysis of the rate and size of orders at any given point in time. So you're essentially looking at that time and sales data. The video that I showed you earlier on, where you're seeing, did you notice that sometimes orders were flowing through fast, sometimes it was slower, it was the size of those orders. You're basically paying attention to this core information, and you're watching these orders, how they're assimilated and how they're absorbed on the depth of market. Now, what the core of what you're doing is basically looking at this information to find market inflection points. You're looking at this information and you're looking for where the buyers are overtaking the sellers, or the sellers are overtaking the buyers, right? Or you're looking for momentum initiation. You're looking for groups of buyers coming into the market, going with the trend, taking things higher, or groups of sellers coming to the market, taking things lower. It's very, very simple stuff. It's very, very simple stuff. I've come across traders and educators that try to make order flow sound very complicated. It's not. It's simple. It's incredibly simple. It's literally just paying attention to the building blocks of the market and watching them, watching those, how they come together and how the market moves. All right, guys, this is a really, really basic, dumbed down example, and I want you to help me with this. In this example here, you're seeing sell flows as they're hitting the market, and this little histogrammy bar chart is basically describing sell flows versus buy flows. So you can see at this point here, we've got pretty much half and half. So half the flows are sell flows, half the flows are buy flows. Now, what you'll start to notice is that as the move starts as we start moving lower, there's an increase in sell flows, the rate of sell flows, and the size of those flows. So right now, the sell flows are dominant, taking things lower. Now, what you'll notice here is that we've got a massive amount of selling versus buying, but the market is moving up here. You can see that we're reverting and we're going back up. What do you think is happening here? I'll give you a clue. The answer is actually on the slide. Exactly. The shorts are there. They're taking that. It's a capitulation move. What you're seeing here is the flow of sellers coming into the market. So the smart money's coming here at the top, right? The slightly less smart money is coming in here, and this is where most people are coming into the market. The smaller sellers, the average trader just starting out is basically comes in waiting, watching the move go, and they're coming in here. The greatest number of sellers tend to be at the bottom of a move. It's capitulation. It's capitulation, and these shorts are covered, and bada bing. It's these traders taking the market lower are out of their trades, and the suckers that got in right at the bottom, they're the ones that are feeling the pain as the market moves higher. So we've got another example here of breakout flows. So the market here is pretty sideways. It's 50-50 pretty much here, 50-50 here, 50-50 here. And suddenly the market breaks through this support level, and we see a sudden increase in selling. We see a sudden increase in selling, lots of sell orders coming through, again taking the market much lower until we reach a capitulation point. Again, another example, breakout flows. You've got the market here 50-50. We're seeing a breakthrough this resistance area, and we're seeing an increase in buy flows taking us higher. This is pretty obvious stuff, guys, right? You can see that in these areas that the dominant forces, with the markets moving higher, the dominant forces are the buyers. When the market's moving lower, the dominant forces are the sellers. 50-50 is essentially a level of balance. It's when the market's in balance, and you've got a relatively equal number of buyers to equal number of sellers. When you see a breakout, the market goes into imbalance and it moves higher or it moves lower, and you're seeing the flows are what's determining that action and what's happening. Does that make sense? This is very basic stuff, and I'm sorry if I'm dumbing it down for everyone. Okay, so this is just like an overview of what we just saw there. So we're seeing the market here in 50-50, and we're seeing a breakdown through the lows here. So the market's moving from balance here out of balance. We're seeing capitulation here at the bottom, again finding balance, and then we're moving back through the resistance, back out of balance. So this is the general flow of the market. This is how the market moves. Hi, John. I think there is something like that shows buyers versus sellers. I guess the best example is Market Delta. I use Market Delta. It's a very cool tool that gives you a ratio, but it gives it to it as a number as well as a histogram. So that's pretty cool. So our mission, looking at this information, was the advantages of being in the pit were massive. Right? Everyone would agree with that these guys that work together as a team, when you understand when the bigger fish are coming in, when there's a certain amount of orders hitting the market, that there's a lot of advantage in following those flows. Does that make sense, guys? Would you see a lot of advantage in being able to follow the big whales? Yeah, I'm sure everyone would see a big advantage in that. Now, the pit was all about the escalating sound of these guys working together. So if you'd see lots of buyers coming into the market, you just hear them screaming and shouting, and there still are some services that provide access to that noise, although I don't think there's very many people in the pit these days, and it creates basically a herd effect. Well, now the centralized electronic exchanges offer a different kind of opportunity. And what I've tried to do using this information is basically create pit noise for the digital age, using real underlying trade information, what's actually happening in the market and what's actually taking place. Now, do you guys remember that video I showed you earlier on where we were watching order flow? We were looking at the rates, we were looking at the size, we were seeing what was happening in the market, yeah? You remember that, right? Now, I've got, you might be able to see it now. There's another video that I want to show you guys, and hopefully it'll work. Can everyone hear that? Give me some yeses if you can hear that and see it. That, my friends, is the sound of selling. You're seeing, you're hearing, and actually visually seeing a breakout taking place. So that information that you saw earlier in that video, and Jack, yes, it's against the law for them. It's called, it's insider trading, but they did it. It's what they did. It's what happened in the market. So this sound that you're hearing is basically when dominant forces, when a large number of, it's an algorithm that basically interprets that order flow information that you were seeing, and it evaluates the size of orders versus the flow of orders, and we've got some other technical parameters that have to take place as well. But it basically looks at this information and works out when is your greatest chance of following in to a stronger move. And you'll see that you see these 4 red bars lighting up there. This is giving you a level of strength of that selling, of level of strength of how the market's moving, how the market's evolving, how it's changing. So I'll let you listen to it for a little bit. Try and soak it in and think of some questions about what we're doing. Okay, we're seeing some buy flows coming in here in this example. This is kind of a little melee of trades that I put together just to show you how the software works and what it does and how you can actually see what's going on. Hi Raymond, yeah, the visual is very clear, but the sound is subtly distinct. So the lower pitch sound is selling, the higher pitch sound is buying. You'll notice there's a difference. It's something you have to have in the background, because we explored lots of different sounds and we just found that having a more subtle difference was better than it just going crazy. And guys, one thing I'll mention is the more volatile the market, the more powerful this tool is, the more powerful in the way that it works. It's not an indicator for Ninja or for TradeStation. It's completely independent, so it doesn't matter what charting platform you have. It's a software that works independently, so you don't need to worry what platform you have. Hey Jason, good to see you, buddy. It won't unfortunately work on Macs. Hi Michael, it looks at it. The original video that I showed you was order flow. Now it looks at size of orders, so essentially volume, and it looks at the rate of those orders, and also there's a little bit of secret sauce in terms of the technical parameters that it pays attention to as well, and that's what it pays attention to. Robert, do you have any sound in consolidation zones? That's a very good question. Generally speaking, no. All right, it's pretty quiet in consolidation. What it looks for is strong buying and selling and certain flows. And I'm going to go through some examples of how you can use it and how it affects it. Hi, Michael. If we're talking about centralized exchanges like the ES, the NQ, these are central exchanges. So volume from broker to broker is not affected. It's centralized. But for FX, what we do is aggregate because there's no centralized exchange for FX, we aggregate data from multiple brokers and we use that as a kind of a view of the market, and it's been very effective. Like for any of you guys that trade crude, any CL traders in the room, give me some yeses. Okay, CL is quite a volatile market, and this has just been absolutely off the chart amazing for crude. Because it's such a volatile market, the moves tends to be extended, and they tend to move the market and really, go with the flow. Forex, good to see you, buddy. That's not a phrase that I would use to describe it, but I totally agree with you. It's very, what it does is kind of turn the market, what you're seeing in the market, visual, audible. You can actually hear the market. You can hear the flows. Peter, there's no specific number of contracts. The algorithm is constantly learning. It's adapting to what the market's doing. So if you're in an environment with low order flow, it'll change and it'll adapt. IJ, can you show how it works in exactly the same way? It works in exactly the same way. It does the exact same thing. You'll just hear buying and selling flow and this type of thing. Hi, Gary. It's completely independent of charts. I've just used the 1 minute chart just to show you what's happening, but it's completely independent of charts. It bases its sounding purely on order flow. So, you could have a 30-second chart, you could have, a 1 hour chart, whatever it might be. The sound and what you're seeing is purely based on the flow of orders, not any particular chart. Hi, Leslie. No, you wouldn't have to get any extra data package. It comes with this. But guys, I'm going to continue on with the presentation. Let's save all these great questions till the end. I'm going to make lots of time to go through your question and really answer everything you're talking about. We're barely halfway through the presentation, so I'm going to talk a lot more about the software. It's great to see everyone so enthusiastic about it. I love it. It's really good. Okay, so this is the software itself. It's got a very unique orb kind of design. This is the main interface, and what you see here are the visual meters that give you like a visual gauge of how the market's moving and this type of thing. There's a chat room in there and other bits and bobs as well. So what does tickstrike do? So you saw that video earlier where we saw order flow. Tickstrike turns this information into sound. It's very intelligent, it's constantly learning, and it turns that information into sound. And the more volatile the market, the better it is. It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, this tool, we initially developed it before the crash, and I used it throughout the crash, and it was just absolutely amazing. Because the moves were so fluid, so long, and there were so many orders taking place, you could just get into a trade, follow all the buyers up, and then exit as soon as you hear some sellers. And obviously, we're not in as volatile a market now, but it still works incredibly well. So what tickstrike does is adapt to changing market environments. So if volume increases, if volume decreases, and various type of thing, it allows you to evolve with what the market's doing. And any of you guys that know me, evolution is a big part of my trading mindset. I'm all about constantly adapting, constantly evolving with the market. That's a key focus for me, because if you don't adapt, you die. As many of these ex-floor traders have learned, if you don't adapt, you die. And it's designed to learn and consistently adapt with the market. David, will it work with doing, can't even read, when doing bar replays on a chart? No, it's completely independent of a chart, but we are going to be providing an indicator that will plot a history of, of the tool on your charts, but that's kind of on its way. Why now? So, we're in a relatively volatile environment. We've got lots of crises going on. We've got a recession, and these are good environments for traders. Not the last few days because the markets have been closed, but generally speaking, there's a lot of volatility out there, and volatility is what this tool thrives on. It's such a powerful tool in volatile. And Forex, it's Really great to hear you that you're loving the tool. You yourself know when things are volatile, this is a very, very powerful tool. Hi, John. At the moment, no, but we will be remedying that. We're testing Apple, Google, and a few other major stocks at the moment, and pretty soon, I think within the next few months, we'll be rolling out to individual stocks as well. So our plan is to get to 100 plus instruments by next year. Hi, guys, I'll try and save the questions for the end. And Jack, that's a good one, and I'll definitely answer that. Okay, using tickstrike. Now, guys, here's some examples. The great thing is I've kind of showed you the tool. I've showed you what it does. I want you to see, ways of using it. Now, for me, it's a very, very powerful trade management tool. It's a really great way to stay in your trades longer. It helps you let your winners run, because if you can hear buyers in your market, and you're much more likely to stay. If you're in a long, you're much more likely to stay in that trade, and it gives you objective information about buying or selling. If you could actually hear, rather than looking at a chart, if you could actually hear buyers in the market, if you could hear them coming in, you would hold on to that trade longer, right? Give me some yeses, guys. If you were in a long and you heard buyers coming into the market, consistently coming into the market, you'd hold on to that trade longer. It's that simple. And in terms of stop management, you've entered this long, you hear sellers coming into the market, what are you going to do? You've entered a long, you hear sellers coming into the market, what are you going to do? You're going to either trail, you're going to get out of that trade, you're going to look for a trade in the opposite direction. That's exactly what you're going to do. Exactly. And if you've got, the key thing is, guys, one of the main reasons why traders fail, besides trade management, is objectivity. Because a lot of the time you don't have objective information, because trading is very discretionary. You're looking at what the market's doing, you're looking at how the charts are moving, and you're trying to make a decision based upon measuring the probability in your mind. And it's very difficult to get is objective information. That's the key. We're all about objective information. That's the main focus of what we do. Giving something objective. Pivot Farm was all about objective information, support and resistance levels. Tickstrike is all about objective information, because once you have objective information, you can make decisions, and fast decisions. Great to see you, Al. Thanks, buddy. Trade initiation. This is a really another way of looking at things. When the market's more volatile, just like we had in the crash, and we have a lot of the times, and especially in markets like crude, you can actually use the sound to enter the trade. This isn't personally how I use it. I only use it like this when it's very, very volatile, and sometimes trading the crude. But this is a powerful way that a lot of the people that use this tool use it. They listen for selling behavior, and they jump in and try and follow that and take a few ticks or follow the move as far as they can. So that's one way to use it. Now, it's a very, very versatile tool. Now, what I'm about to say now, is going to sound very, very odd. You can actually trade against tickstrike. You can trade against the buying and selling sound. Now, do you remember in the slides before we talked about capitulation moves, where you're seeing massive amounts of selling at the bottom of a move? When I see this bar completely fill up, unless there's been some major piece of news, I look for a trade in the opposite direction. I look for a setup in the opposite direction. It's riskier, but generally speaking, this is when all the sellers that are getting into the market are going nuts, sell, 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 and the market is out of balance, and it gives you a great opportunity to get in. So I look for capitulation moves. Another way is also when the market is, when we're in a low volatility stage. So say, for example, the market's trading in a range. What tends to happen in a range is that the market moves up and down. Now, when we hit the tops of these range, the suckers tend to come in, and sorry if I say suckers, that's all of us. We all can be suckers at some point. The suckers tend to come in looking for a breakout, and you see this flurry of buying coming in, but then suddenly it gets faded and the market moves lower. These are instances that you would actually trade against tickstrike. You have to use some discretion as well, but it's a very versatile tool. It's giving you information about what's happening at any given point in time. Okay, now, guys, are there any breakout traders in the room? Guys, I'm going to try and answer all of your questions at the end. The quicker we get through this, the better off we'll be. Are there any breakout traders in the room? Give me some yeses. Any guys that look for breakouts, resistance area getting broken out, all this type of thing. Now, what happens in a breakout? What happens in a breakout is you hit a point of resistance and then you're looking for this sudden volatility to help you break out of this resistance point. You want a sudden flow of orders. Bang! You want the market to hit those orders and break out higher and take you, get you that 100 points on the S&P, right? That's what we're looking for. Everyone agrees with me, I'm sure. Well, the key point you're seeing there, and the key words that I've used are an increase in volatility, and you'll see an increase in orders. Those two factors combined make tickstrike, because tickstrike measures orders, and it is best used in volatile environments. So if you're seeing a pop out of a resistance area, you're seeing buy flows coming in there, and you're seeing those buy flows being sustained. Keyword, sustained. You get in with that trade and you follow the market higher. It's absolutely amazing for breakout trades. Absolutely amazing for breakout trades. Marvino, that's just as good as well, because what you would do is you would look for that initial pop, you would wait for the market to pull back, you would enter your trade. If you heard, this, say for example, this is long, if you heard sellers coming in against you, you'd exit, right? You'd get out, you'd cut that loser short. If you had buyers, you'd let it run, right? You'd let that thing run as far as you want. Make sense, Marvina? That's exactly what I would do. You let that thing run. It's objectivity. You've got objective information to make your decision with. It's so difficult to get that kind of information in trading. Okay, another powerful way of using tickstrike is trade confirmation. Now, there's 170 plus traders in this room today, right? And each of you have your own setup. Whatever type of method you're using, whether it's stochastics or candlesticks or order flow, whatever it might be. Now, imagine in your mind's eye that you've pulled the trigger on a long. You've entered this long trade. What do you want to happen next? Type into the room. You want the market to go up, right? You want the market to go up, take you higher, and give you some profit. What objective information are you looking at? You're going to be looking at your charts. You're going to be looking at other things out there that help you. Now, imagine if you've entered that long and you can actually hear the buyers coming into the market. You can hear them coming in. You know when there's buyers here in the market because you'll hear them going tick, 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 tick. You'll hear that sound. That's a very, 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 very powerful thing. Even if this is for many of you guys, this is completely new because I look at things, and the team that I work with, we try to look at things in a different way. Using your sense of hearing is a very, very powerful tool in trading because your eyes are occupied by so many things. Now, you've entered this long, you hear the buyers coming in, it's confirming your trade. Exit that trade. It's that simple. You can let that winner run. Who's heard that saying? Let your winners run, cut your losers short. Everyone heard that saying? Give me some yeses. What the hell does that mean? What does that mean? It's such an easy phrase to understand. Let the winner run, cut the loser short. How do you do that? Most traders, because I do a lot of measurement, and what I found is the traders because we have many, we have hundreds of traders that go through our floor, and they have I don't know if you guys have X Factor in the UK, in the US now. I'm sure you probably do Simon Cowell's everywhere. But they basically have a program where they bring in new traders, they train them up, and out of those 30 traders, only 5 will be given, money from the firm, right? The other 25, it's bye-bye, see you later, you're not going to be working here anymore. Now, all these traders that come in, they're taking their trades, they're doing whatever they're doing, and you're whittling down this information to find, to get your basically these traders are being whittled down based upon what they're doing. What I found is that the traders, the 25 that are dumped, the large percentage that are dumped, a lot of the time they're staying in their losers at least twice as long as their winners. Think about your own trading. How long do you stay in a winner compared to a loser? And I'm using very crude layman's terms here, but when you're in a winning trade, how long do you stay in it compared to a losing trade? Almost 80 or 90% of traders spend more time in their losers than they do in the winners, because losing brings out the emotion of hope. Oh, this will turn around, it'll turn around, it'll turn around, it'll turn around, it'll turn around. And that's what we do. Everyone does this. Fight that emotion, right? I actually, this is not something I sell. I have like a good 10 plus tools that I've created. Only 2 that I sell, but there's lots of things that I've created. And one of them is an indicator that basically times my trades. And it gives me a rundown of how long I've been in my losers versus how long I've been in my winning trades over the course of the last few weeks. And I constantly keep an eye on that metric, because I want my winners to be at least 2 to 3 times bigger than any potential loser, and I want to be in my winners at least twice as long as a loser. Hi John, no, I don't run a trading room. I would never do that, not in a million years. It's well, I've seen people run that kind of thing, and it's not my thing. No way. I would lose everyone so much money, it'd be unbelievable, because it's so stressful carrying the burden of other traders, knowing that you have to make them money. I would never do that. That's an honest answer for you guys. I just know. I'm happy trading my own account. I'm happy taking, home the little amount of money that I take home. Okay, well, all right, guys, I'm starting to digress, but does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? If you've got objective information to let your trade run, to give it more time, just think about it. If you could take away one piece of information from this presentation today, if you try and make sure that your winning trades, that the amount of time you spend in them is twice as long as your losing trades, you will do very well in trading. Oh, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. You will see an increase in your performance in some way, shape, or form. Because just that difference, that is living up to that adage of letting your winners run and cutting your losers short. It's very, very important. It's so simple, but no one does it. Now, tickstrike, what's the value of it? It's all about audibly and visually seeing and hearing order flow, seeing and hearing what's happening in the market. What you're trying to do is quantify and understand momentum. Now, guys, have I been clear in explaining how tickstrike, quantifies order flow with the sounds? And I don't mean literally, I've explained how many contracts it does what. I mean in terms of what actually happens, how it's audible, how you can see what's happening in the market. And it's all about letting your winners run, cutting those losers short, letting your winners run, cutting your losers short, letting your winners run, cutting your losers short. And no, guys, that wasn't an error in Omnovia. That's such an important saying, and it's all about adapting to the market and what you're doing at any given point in time. Okay, someone wants to see that video again. I will do that. Guys, I've got a little special offer for you today. I'm working with Morgan. We're trying a little different special offer today. There's 2 things that you can do. Now, this is a little bit confusing, so please get your pens out and make some notes. There's one. The first way is you can get 3 months of 10 markets that we offer, 10 markets of your choice, by opening a trading account through tastytrade.com, and the link is there, www.tickstrike.com/. If you open a trading account through tastytrade using that link, you can get 3 months of tickstrike completely free of charge.
Guys, 1 second. Amar is re-entering the room. Yeah. Hey, Robert. So,
Can you hear me, guys?
gotcha. Well, we've got,
Hello.
there we go.
Hello, I'm back. You can hear me. Oh, whoa. I hate it when that happens. Okay, so we're back. So 6 months of 10 markets again for $297, using the promo code alert7. Write this down, alert7, and it's tickstrike.com/TP. You'll get a 7-day free trial. So guys, you've got 7 days. Try it out. See if it's for you. You know, use the software, test it out, send us emails. You know, just use it and abuse it for 7 days. If it's for you, you know, then pay the $297, and you've got 6 whole months. You know, that's less than $50 a month. You know, it's a really, really good deal. Or you can take option 1, which is just something new we're trying to see if it works. Where you open an account with Tasty Trade, and you will get for 3 months. So if you want 6 months at half price, $297 is there, and the markets that we support are listed below the offer. They're right here. So in FX, we offer the euro, the pound, the yen, Aussie. On the futures, we've got the S&P, the Nasdaq, yada yada yada. After the 6 months, you keep that price. You keep the $297. That is your price for the lifetime of your subscription, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. It is a deal. It's a steal. Hi, Jack. You do not need your own independent data feed. The data comes as part of the package. Jack, there is some. You can adjust the amount of flows that you want to pay attention to. So you saw those levels on that counter where it was 1 to 9. You can choose the levels that you want to pay attention to. It runs on Windows. On Windows, it should be fine. Guys, if there's any questions, ask away, and I will be happy to answer them. Okay. Hi, Al. The link for the trial is www.tickstrike.com/TP. So you can trial it there. If you want to open an account through Tasty Trade, which is the 7-day trial, you will get with number 2, which is tickstrike.com/TP. Guys, I'm sorry, I've made this so confusing for you guys, but it's the 7-day trial is number 2 on the right. So if you sign up, you'll get 7 days of access. Hi, Nick. The data that you're seeing is the volume of all trades that have been initiated, that have been fulfilled, that have been filled, that have gone through the exchange. So everything that you see on your time and sales, that's what's being interpreted. We provide the data. Hi, Jay. No, you don't have to pay. You get a 7-day trial, $297, no charge, and at the end of the 7 days, you buy it. You break it, you buy it. So at the end of the 7 days, it's all yours. John, can you get Pivot Farm? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. I'm considering making a dual offer for the 2, and not at the moment. Now, Jack, I think you asked a question about if you made this 4 years ago, why didn't you sell it then? Um, because I didn't want to. That's the honest answer. We only turned this into a product about a year ago because I was using it for my own trading, and you get really slow in making a new product because you've done your trading day, and then when you finish, you have to kind of a developer to help you with this, and it just kind of didn't happen. So the tool originally wasn't the software you see here. It was just an indicator that I had on my platform. And then we had to do lots of bits and bobs to it, and that's what took the time, really. Does that make sense, Jack? I hope I answered your question. Hi. The software is incredibly lightweight. So if you've got a slow internet connection, you should be totally fine. Hi. The cost after 6 months, it stays the same. There's no increase. Hi, Jack. No, it's not. It was called Tape Tweet at one point, which was quite a cute name, and I really liked it. But we kind of decided to change it to tickstrike. But this is the software. It's completely different. Hi, Michael. Yes, you do have to give a credit card. We want to see that you're committed to us. And look, we're not going to disappear off the planet. If you if you don't like the software, just cancel. Send us an email, and we'll cancel your trial. It's no big deal. Paul, this offer's for today. This offers for, whoa, there are so many questions coming through, I can't even cope. What chart do you prefer for CL trading? Yusuf, I look at range bars for crude. Range bars are pretty good because what it does, it helps you look at the consolidation, and when you get a breakout from the consolidation, tick strike will be screaming away and all this type of thing. Leslie, how to get the 7 days free? Go to tickstrike.com/TP, which is the offer here on the right-hand side, number 2. And you'll get 7 days, and then you'll be charged $297. If you go for the Tasty Trade route, it's basically like getting a 3-month free trial. But obviously, you have to open an account, you have to fund it, you have to do the whole works there. IPO, yes, you will get stocks. It'll be included at that price. Any of you guys that have used Pivot Farm, you'll know that I like to expand the range of what I'm doing, and I like to give people more value. I'm a trader too, and it's all about giving you guys good value, great information, professional tools. Guys, professional traders use this tool. Professional traders working in prop firms, all sorts, they use this tool. They love this tool. Hi, Peter, you can use more than one instrument at a time, up to 15 at the same time. Dan, it doesn't. It's completely independent of NinjaTrader. You'd like to see the demo? Okay, so guys, has everyone noted down this offer? Please get your pens out. Choose the one that you're most interested in. Take a note of the details. So you need the promo code alert7. If you're going for number 2, you need the promo code alert7, and you need the URL, which is tickstrike.com/TP. So if you're going to pay the $297 after 7 days, if you want to do the 3 months with Tasty Trade, you need www.tickstrike.com/TDA. Go there, fill it in, yada yada yada, and everything's going on there. Now, someone wanted to see the video, so let's watch this baby in action. It works. Hi Sig, yeah, it's standalone. It's completely independent. It has its own data feed. It has everything. It works completely independently. Hi Raymond, that's a very, very good question. And at the moment, there's no massive distinction. What I try and do, because I trade maximum 1 to 2 things at a time, so it doesn't really make, because markets tend to move in tandem. So if you're seeing a move on the S&P, it's likely the Dow or the Nasdaq's moving at the same time. But what we are doing is like there's a lot of development happening with tickstrike, and we're adding some new tools that will answer your queries there, Raymond. And I think you'll really like them. But at the moment, it's not quite made yet. Daniel, you can install on more than one computer, but it will only work on one at a time. And Jack, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Just add more contracts to one. That's it. Why be a master of all? I mean, why be a jack of all and a master of none? Let's try and get this demo working again. Hi, Yusuf. Yes, future upgrades will be complimentary. I like to look after my people. Okay, 1 second, guys. Hi guys, Jay, on your website is only the tab buy for free 7-day trial. Yeah, you've got to actually sign in, put your information in, and then you get the 7-day trial. But you're only charged after that 7 days. 297 will stay the same every 6 months. You charge that every 6 months, so it will stay the same. I say you can select the all markets option if you want. All the prices you see listed, you'll get half price on the 6 months ones, on the 6-month subscriptions, not on the monthlies. Has to be 6 months. Okay, let me put the offer back up for you guys, so just so you're all clear. Any more questions, ladies and gents? Have you found the information today helpful? That's the big question. Is this something that you've taken away from today? Give me some yeses. Let me know if you've enjoyed what we've been talking about. Did it give you some value? Excellent. Good stuff, guys. Oh, that's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. It's a beautiful thing, is what it is. RJ, I love it. PR, is there any training? There is some videos that come along with it, but right now we're in a stage of letting users kind of run wild with it and do what they're doing and contacting us and telling us what they're doing. What we're hoping to do over time with Pivot Farm as well as with tickstrike is create this collaborative environment where people share how they use the software, because it's so versatile and there's just so many ways to use it. You saw me go through descriptions of using it for breakouts, using it for trade confirmation, using it for fading, all this type of thing. IPR, that's a whole Pivot Farm is a whole other presentation, and I'm sure I'll be on Tradingpub again soon, and I can introduce you to Pivot Farm as well. But by all means, visit the website, check us out. Yep, it's pivotfarm.com. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today. I'm glad everyone enjoyed the presentation. It's been a lot of fun talking to you today about our little tool. And Morgan, love you, baby.
All right, good deal, Amar. Well, based on your comments, I guess we'll have Amar back again. So I told him, I said, we're only having you back if you do a good job today. So you guys definitely gave him some good information. You know, as he goes to bed, he'll feel good about the job that he did today. But what I want to do is just recap this because it's a little different. And I talked to Amar and said, well, you know, we'll give it a try. So basically, you know, we're currently offering a promotion. If you open a new account through tastytrade, and you have to open it, it's got to be a new account. I know a lot of you guys said you had a TD account right now, but if you open a new account at this link, and I'll type it in www.tickstrike.com/TDA. So you open that new account and fund it. But if you do that, if you go that route, send an email to support@tradingpub.com. So send us that email, and I'll make sure to get with Amar and get that set up. The minimum, it's $2,000 for the minimum for that account. But open the account and send us an email to support@tradingpub.com, and I'll get with Amar and make sure you get set up with 3 months free access for 10 markets. The other 50% off of a 6-month subscription for 10 markets. Now, if you want to go all markets or one market, you can do that too. You just go to tickstrike.com/TP. So I'll type that in. It's tickstrike.com/TP and use alert 7. So again, use alert 7, and that will take care of you there. So does anybody have any questions on the two offers? I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood that. Yeah, 4X, glad you enjoyed it. He does a great job. So that's, we always enjoy having him here. All right, just wanted to make sure everybody understood the two different offers. So it's either tickstrike.com/TDA, and then once you get your account open, just send an email to support@tradingpub.com. We'll get you set up with the access for 3 months. Or if you want to get 50% off, which grandfathers in, so again, every 6 months you'll have the option of keeping that 50% off. I believe it'll be good through tonight, Amar. We'll do it through midnight. So again, it's www.tickstrike.com/TP. Okay, good. Good through tonight, Sally. Okay. All right, well, good deal. Well, I'll leave this slide up in case you guys, need to write it down. And we will, Yusuf, I don't believe it would be, I think this is a live tool. So I don't believe you could do market read. Could you, Amar? I wouldn't believe so. Yeah, this program, the program tickstrike, is platform independent. So it can be used as it's a standalone, regardless of who you trade through. Yeah, Mark, could you maybe put your email in case they have some specific questions following that, or maybe stick around for just a couple minutes and answer any questions they might have? All right, good deal. Well, anyway, I think that you guys will enjoy it. We give you two options here. One way, if you open a new account and then send us an email, support@tradingpub.com, or two, you can get 50% off, and then you can access that, and that will be grandfathered in. So yeah, it's downloaded onto your computer and runs alongside the trading platform. Jeffrey, I think we just uploaded one video here showing it that way with the crude oil. I don't think we uploaded multiple. But, and that's the thing, it comes with a 7-day trial too. So you guys can test it out in a live market. Lindsay, I'll try to get the replay up by tomorrow morning on our website. All right. All right, everyone. Well, we'll leave this room up where you guys can take a look at it, and we hope you all have a wonderful yeah, Rick, you can open a retirement account, and also that'll give you the access to Tasty Trade for 2 years also. So if you open at that link, but Rick, be sure to email me. Just email me and let me know that you opened it, and that way I can get your email over to Amar and make sure that you get set up with a 3 months access. My email is support@tradingpub.com. So yeah, you could do retirement account, margin account, cash account. All right, everyone. Hope you have a great day.